the media to spike stories. What about using an entire social media network to put an entire media organization in timeout like Twitter did back then with the New York Post?
Hey guys, welcome back to XCOM 2 Longmore the Chosen Mod Jam. Doing good so far. Couple save scums, but that's to be expected with XCOM. It's just the way it goes.
Just wanted to know we're seeing President Trump walk out of the Trump Tower right now. So you watched him there, getting a wave, getting into the car, and to the point of Kennedy. My head just goes to the journalism of yesteryear. I had a journalist in the White House press corps when I was there come up to me, an amazing journalist. Yes, they still exist. There are incredible fair amount of journalists. And he said, I just wish we could get back to old school journalism. And as I watched that clip, look, some of those were commentators, so I don't like as far as, or elevate them to journalists. But I wish we could see the events of today play out through the prism of old journalism, because I think it would have been more fair to the American people, more even-handed, and fair to the former president.
Well, I want to object to that.
Yeah.
I mean, I think when you read the U.S. Constitution, the first thing it says is establish justice before it gets to the defense, before it gets to the freedom. It's establish justice first. That's where I want to be. And I don't think it's an old school go back. I think we need to go forward and teach new generations about the value of that. The republic, if we can keep it, as Dr. Franklin said at the time. So where do we go from here? I think Trump gave us some idea of where
I'm not here on duty, if you know what I mean. So let's keep this quiet.
So you and I were talking off camera. That means the rest of us have the responsibility to make sure that we're ready to vote early or vote on that day. And you have to start that plan now.
See.
Well, another historic trial is set to begin on Monday. The first felony trial of
I get an engineer. Cool.
The prosecution's mounting evidence
Shame.
and Hunter's legal team's unconventional defense. We'll bring you that next.
My husband and I own a growing beverage company. We rely on e-commerce and digital tools to build our business and launch new products. Thanks to American investments and AI, we're using this technology to run our business more efficiently. Artificial intelligence is a game changer, and I'm excited that the U.S. is leading the world in its development. Our leaders should continue to protect America's competitive edge, to strengthen small businesses like ours.
In our family, there's a passion for glassmaking that's passed down through the generations. On Ancestry, I was able to actually put together our family tree. Each person is a glassmaker.
We stood on some pretty broad shoulders to get to where we're at today. Always drive slow before you run. Listen to me.
It's time we listen to science. One A Day is formulated with key nutrients to support whole body health. One A Day, science that matters.
Balance of Nature fruits and veggie supplements are convenient and easy to add to any schedule. Paired with eating more fresh produce, regular exercise, and a positive mindset, Balance of Nature fruits and veggie supplements can help you keep your rhythm.
Oh.
Balance of Nature supplements.
Shit.
This summer with 35% off plus a free fiber and spice supplement while supplies last as a preferred customer by using discount code FOXNEWS.
Once retired, Marcus decided, I will never again work for another man or woman. I abandoned my corporate phone plan, and I'll get a new plan from Consumer Cellular for up to half the cost. That's no birds. When freedom calls, we're here to answer.
Hi, I'm David, and I lost 92 pounds on Golo. I noticed within a week that the release supplement really knocked out my sugar cravings. I didn't feel the need to go to the store for candy or go through the drive-thru after work. I feel so much better these days, and I have Golo to thank for that.
What do you do when the search seems endless?
Still trying to find a cheaper price for that hotel.
It's perfect for our vacation, and I'm so close.
I thought I had conceal on.
Trivago compares hotel prices from hundreds of sites instantly. So you don't have to do whatever this is.
Well, we could say $50 a night.
Case closed. Hotel, Trivago.
I'm pinned down here.
Warranty.
Okay. Warranty.
Yes, focus on an American home ship warranty. It can protect your covered home systems and appliances like this
hear it all the time. People tell me they'd love to buy gold, but because it's gold, they think it must be complicated.
I'm all over it.
It isn't. Not with Roslyn Capital. With Roslyn, the entire process from start to finish is built on one concept. One. Keep it simple. Roslyn Capital, a trusted leader in helping people acquire precious metals. Gold bullion, Lady Liberty gold and silver proofs, and our premium coins can help you preserve your wealth. Call Roslyn Capital at 800-630-8900 to receive your free Roslyn Guide to Gold, Gold and Precious Metals IRA, and Silver brochures. With Roslyn, there are no hassles, no gimmicks, and our shipping is fast and reliable. Remember, keep it simple. Make gold your new standard. Call Roslyn Capital today at 800-630-8900. 800-630-8900. That's 800-630-8900. When you can't watch, get the links.
The fuck is all this?
Anytime, anywhere. Fox News Audio on CBS.
Next building.
President Biden is set to make remarks any moment now on the Middle East from the White House. We will also be waiting to hear his comments on the conviction of former President Donald Trump. It will be the first remarks from the sitting president since the conviction, and we'll bring you that live when it begins. Meantime, jury selection for Hunter Biden's federal gun trial will start on Monday, unless there is a last-minute plea deal. Now, it's the first felony trial of a sitting president's child, and federal prosecutors are likely to review further details of his conviction that could impact his father's presidential re-election bid. David Spunk joins us now with more on that. David.
Hi, Emily. Hunter Biden's life will change Monday when jury selection kicks off in his federal trial. Today, we spotted him boarding Air Force One in Delaware on his way to Washington, D.C. We know that some of the evidence presented will surround his laptop. Special counsel David Weiss's team will produce parts of the Hunter Biden laptop as evidence, which Hunter lawyers fought vigorously to exclude. We don't know yet, Emily, which parts. Remember, this is the same laptop that 51 former intelligence officials in 2020 touted as having the classic earmarks of potential Russian disinformation. Well, it wasn't. Weiss said in a brief the defendant's laptop is real. It will be introduced as a trial exhibit, and it contains significant evidence of the defendant's guilt. Moreover, the evidence on his laptop is corroborated by independent sources, end quote. Hunter was in court last week for a final hearing before jury selection. He charged with 3 felony counts of lying on a federal gun form in 2018 when claiming he was not a drug user. Hunter's attorney asked Lowell previous hearing in court last week that Hunter did not check no to being a drug user. He says it needs to be examined whether other people may have filled out the form. Special counsel's confident Hunter was the one who actually checked no in the box. Judge Mary Ellen Norego ruled the special counsel could not mention Hunter's indictment in pending tax case in California. This trial judge is the same one for that plea deal last summer, and really would have had Hunter Biden plead guilty to 2 misdemeanors and avoid prison on those felony charges. It's always possible an $11 plea deal could be cut, as you mentioned, Emily, in the cost to me, but as of now, it seems unlikely those things, as you know, as an attorney, can happen really close to court beginning, so we'll be watching for it.
That's right. In the hallway, even. David Spunk, thank you so much. Okay, Jonathan Turley, a whole other trial with a whole lot of historical implications and consequences potentially also.
I sure would want to stop at the first, because none of them are good. It's another first, and it's nothing to celebrate. He needs to plead guilty. And the defense attorney, that's exactly what I would tell him, because if he pleads, he may be able to escape jail time, but this is a lead pipe cinch for conviction, and suggesting as he did that it might not be my check, is not going to do it in that court. So the best thing for him would be to plead guilty and avoid what's coming out of that gate, which is going to be really bad.
To the professor's point, Kennedy, I've spent a lot of time in penitentiaries, including minimum security ones, and the guys that are there for years and years and years and years did not take a plea. They were there because a jury of their peers get real mad at the thought of other people cheating the system and doing certain things and getting away with it and not taking responsibility, and there's a levy of sentencing that can occur there. Well, I have a question for you. I mean, you've always pointed out that federal convictions have there's a very, very high conviction rate when you are charged with federal crime. But what is the likelihood that it takes a plea deal, and are there people within the federal system who don't like the president? Like, is this their form of protest, potentially, and the conviction rate includes the plea deal of the sentencing. So that's partly why, as we know too, that the leverage that the sentencing holds, that's partly why so many people take the pleas, because the federal sentencing mandates, minimum standards, are frankly sort of draconian. Now, I know you were interested particularly in the laptop theory. Yes, you mentioned people have been in Twitter jail for referring to the laptop. I was in Twitter jail, so I just press secretary to mention the laptop. That is real. And, can you think you have vindication? Prosecutors wrote Wednesday the defendant's laptop is real, will be introduced as evidence at trial. You know what Hunter's attorneys wrote back? Defense counsel has numerous reasons to believe the data has been altered and compromised. To which prosecutors say they have people corroborating the messages. They've seen no evidence of alteration, but Hunter's attorneys going with altered laptop. Good luck.
Just real quick here. So what I do find fascinating is they begin to use a laptop supposedly in a case. Is how will they actually tell the public then why they were lied to and why it's not a lie now? I mean, it was such a theme in the Trump trial here in New York about Michael Cohen. Was he lying then? Is he lying now? Was the laptop miraculously then not real but real? And has it been AI, messed with or whatever? I mean, I do find it kind of almost like a farce in a way. We gotta clean this up so people have some kind of confidence. It's not just a
That's through a fucking wall. That's not even a mirror. What the fuck are you doing? Okay. You want to play cheap? We'll play cheap. I know cheap.
It's already working for you. Which is why a plea, by the way, would distinguish all of that commentary and conversation and need it would allow them to just sweep it under the rug. All right, guys. More on number 10. Stay with us.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit a grandchildren.
I understand. That's why Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other, so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
And what about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated back on your best interests.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a transparent fee structured so we do better when you do better. At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different.
Is your shower trying to tell you something? Is getting in and out of the bathtub becoming a safety concern? Are you worried about the cost of the bathroom remodel?
See, that's why.
For weeks and weeks? Well, now you can have a gorgeous new bathroom shower that's safer at a price you can afford with a one-day jacuzzi bath remodel.
It's done the same day. You did not have to wait. It is amazing.
I would give this whole experience an A.
Consequence.
From soft close shower doors and adjustable shower heads to features like grab bars and custom seats that combine safety and style. It's never been easier. Get your free design consultation, schedule your one-day installation, and start loving your new bathroom shower right away.
Only weeks left in May installation and no interest and no payments for up to 1 year. Go to jacuzzibathremodel.com or call 800-991-2603. That's 800-991-2603. Call now.
I'm out here telling people how they can save money with Experian. Do you have a lot of subscriptions, like the streaming services, music, fitness, like 6 or 7 around there?
I do. I have a lot.
What if there's a place for you to see your subscriptions and cancel the ones you don't like all in one place? Experian has that.
Oh, wow.
I love it.
I need that.
And you can save $270 a year.
Making adulting so easy.
Get started now. Experience.
Misclick. That was fucking stupid.
Warfare in New York City ready to backfire in on the Democratic Party. We have the very latest polls and fundraising stats. Don't miss it tonight on Daily.
Okay. Okay, I knew I'd take a hit.
Right on the margins. Former President Trump having to fight on and appeal his guilty verdict. We'll have the latest on where this all goes from here.
Whoa, too heavy for me.
Political prosecution as he loses a petition to throw out his trial. The United States quietly gives Ukraine the green light to use American weapons to attack inside Russia. And the White House welcomes the Kansas City Chiefs this afternoon. And kicker Harrison Butler tears the strip off of Joe Biden for a double standard in his Catholic values. I'm John Roberts. Come join Sandra Beaton. Our report reports.
Breaking news: the Biden campaign has just responded to former President Trump's morning speech that he gave outside Trump Tower. And here's a quote from it. Actually, don't we have all of it? I want you to hear the whole thing. America just witnessed a confused, desperate, defeated Donald Trump ramble about his own personal grievances and lie about the American justice system, leaving anyone watching with one obvious conclusion: this man cannot be president of the United States. Unhinged by 2020 election loss, spiraling from the criminal convictions. Trump is consumed by his own thirst for revenge and retribution. He thinks the election is about him, but it's not. It's about the American people lowering their costs, protecting their freedoms, and defending their democracy. And this part, that's why Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are fighting for it. That's what they're doing. Donald Trump is sowing chaos, attacking the rule of law, and fighting for the only thing in the world he gives damn. That's his word, Donald Trump. This is the Biden-Harris 2024 Communications Director, Michael Tyler, who first person to speak outside the courthouse before the verdict had come in. I believe closing arguments are still coming on. Look, what do you make of this? The campaign obviously going to do the heavy lifting on responding to the case.
Well, it sort of reminded me, I was outside the courthouse when Robert De Niro came out and gave that tirade, which sounded like, "Get off my lawn," yelling in the courthouse, I can't hear him. And we all sort of stood there in disbelief, and all I could think of is from the Bronx Tale, of wasted talent. You know, what De Niro was saying is, we have to stop him now. And doing that in front of the courthouse really sort of brought home that this isn't about the criminal code. This is about finding means to stop Donald Trump. And look, you know, you may not have a horse in this race, but we all have an interest in that criminal justice system. And
Half the game is just getting the fuck out.
Donald Trump, his narrative.
Hopefully they don't send any whatever
Drug-resistant bacteria.
red flares down here, so that's good.
For some reason, it just makes them stronger and stronger.
I'd imagine that will change big time.
I think Biden will clearly confused. I don't think they know what to do. If you read at the bottom of the political after the verdict, what you found is they often
Once you get the later levels.
very bottom say, "Oh, but Biden might not do this," and that's what the story said. They don't know what to do. I think they're going to let Biden try to take the high road, and then the communications.
There it is. Thank God we're close.
Well, and I want to go back to something Kennedy said with you, Emily. That's why it's so important that Trump stay disciplined and on message and moving forward with the American people in the foreground.
Right, because it is such a stark contrast from this statement read, which reads, I read it in President Biden's usual barking tone, give a damn, swearing, the very outdated talking points. It's such a stark contrast from what Americans are seeing and feeling, and from certainly what President Trump is doing.
Real quickly, you and I talked earlier about also on the Hill, Republicans staying focused on this whole thing. We know that Congressman Jim Jordan wants to move in and have out the correct numbers. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I think, President Trump should move on, talk about the substantive issues. And Biden, you want to take the high road? Call him Kathy, we'll never give a pardon for you to do that.
Oh, wow. All right. We're outnumbered in a moment.
Everybody wants super straight, super white teeth. They want that Hollywood white smile. New Sensodyne Clinical White provides 2 shades whiter teeth and 24/7 sensitivity protection. I think it's a great product. It's going to help a lot of patients.
Ooh, carne asada. It's carne asada. That's what I said. Carne asada. Carne. Try saying it like this. Juicy carne asada. Carne asada. Carne. I did. And they swallow. It's really good.
Get ready to see that's Black Psoriasis.
He thinks his leaky red patches are all people see.
Tesla is the one largest to trade class services. Tesla can help you get clear sailing. Don't use a Tesla if you're allergic to it. Serious allergic reactions can happen. Tesla may cause severe diarrhea, nausea, or vomiting. Some people taking a Tesla have depression, suicidal thoughts, or weight loss. Upper respiratory tract infection and headache may occur.
Live in the moment. Ask your doctor about a Tesla. Power outages can be unpredictable, inconvenient, and disruptive to your life, posing a real threat to your family's comfort and safety. When the power goes out, you have no
It's too damn late out here.
no heat or air conditioning. Number one thing to prepare for is extreme power outages. Are you prepared? You can be with a Generac home standby generator. When a power outage occurs, your Generac home standby generator automatically powers up using your home's existing natural gas or propane, so your life goes on without disruption. You and your family are comfortable, safe, and secure. Stay tuned to get over a $500 value free on the most popular home standby generator in the world.
With the Generac, we don't have to worry about whether we lose power if the utility company does not approve. Our Generac does.
Generac takes a lot of the anxiety out of there's going to be a storm.
After a hurricane happens, we just want to be prepared for anything.
Generac generators are designed, engineered, and built in the USA. 8 out of 10 home generators are Generac and have thousands of satisfied customers. How many times have you heard people say, I never want to go through that again? Well, the next time you go through it, don't make it so hard on yourself. Have a Generac home standby generator. Call or go online now to request your free quote with one of Generac's nationwide dealers. Special financing and low monthly payment options are available. And if you call now, you will also receive a free 5-year warranty valued at over $500. The call is free, the quote is free, and there's no obligation to buy. Call or go online now, so the next time there's a powers up, power your life with Generac. Call or go online to request your free quote today.
It's time. Yes, the time has come for a fresh approach to dog food. Every day, more dog people are deciding it's time to quit the kibble and feed their dogs fresh food from the farmer's dog. Made by vets and delivered right to your door, precisely portioned for your dog's needs.
We get scientists out of it.
Time has come.
Large map again.
Today, at American beverage companies,
Our bottles might still look the same.
But they can be remade in a whole new way. Thanks to you! We're gonna
It's gonna be
And we've developed a way to make new ones from 100% recycled plastic.
new bottles made using no new plastic. We can see more of these bottles in more places.
And when we get more of them back,
We can use less new plastic.
yeah, our bottles are made to be remade.
President Biden is set to make remarks at any moment. We're told that those remarks will be at the Middle East. This comes as Israel says they've entered central Raqqa. It also comes as Israel is engaged in those hostage release negotiations with Hamas leadership. All of that comes, of course, on the brink of what was a historic week. The guilty verdict for former President Trump. All eyes on President Biden. We know he routinely likes to stop when a question is shouted at him and respond. Undoubtedly, the question the press will be shouting at him is for a response to the verdict of his political opponent. When his campaign has made remarks, unclear if President Biden will answer that question. And of course, we just saw President Trump leave Trump Tower. He gave a wave after that about an hour-long press conference. He hit substantive issues, even in foreign policy, as we are on the brink, of course, of the current president speaking on foreign policy himself. Well, that's it. It's been quite a week. We'll be back with you next week. Set your DVRs for noon each day next week. But for now, on to America Reports.
This is a scam. This is a rigged trial. This is far beyond me. This is bigger than Trump. This is bigger than me. This is bigger than my presidency. I find it absolutely insane. Any person running
the conscience is infinite though.
silence them. That's a scary place to be. This is all done by Biden and his people.
Sky Ranger to
maybe his people more important. I don't know if Biden knows too much about it.
I think it's a complete failure of our justice system. It's a complete Joe Biden, Kamala Harris hit job.
I think it's the right verdict. I think our system of justice works, whether you're rich or you're poor.
And John, I think he's still
Whatever I have to do to save our country and to save our Constitution.
That was moments ago live here in New York City, and now a live look at the White House screen lab where we are about to hear from President Biden. A big question is whether or not he will comment on former President Trump's historic guilty verdict. The president, we are told, will be making those remarks shortly. They are expected to be...
I was wondering what happened.
But as is always the case, he could get questions. Hello and welcome, everyone. I'm Sandra Smith in New York. John, great to be with you.
And I'm John Roberts in Washington. This is America Reports. Good to be with you, Sandra. What's the bet that the first question out of anybody's mouth is, Mr. President, what do you think about the verdict? Former President Donald Trump now to fight back.
Bored it.
President in 34 conviction hearing his remarks just a short time ago. He wasted no time laying into Judge Merchan, calling him, quote, highly conflicted.
And now we know the next big date on the calendar is July 11th. That is the day we are told that the former president will be sentenced, just days before Republicans are formally set to nominate him for president.
Fox Team covers now Andy McCarthy and Carrie Urban on the legal fallout to all of this. Mark Meredith on how the verdict is impacting the Trump campaign.
Loving this jam-packed 2 minutes off the top of the hour. And first, we're going to go to Peter Ducey. He's live at the White House as we do anticipate the president will be speaking soon. Anything that you're hearing about that?
We know it's going to be about the Middle East, so we'll probably say something like Israel needs to be more careful in Gaza protecting civilian life, but we'll see. Maybe there will be a shouted question. Maybe there won't be. So far, all we've got of the president today is some videos quietly returning from Rehoboth Beach to the White House for a planned celebration later on this afternoon of the Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl win. He still hasn't said anything about Trump's conviction, but he does have these remarks later, so he takes a shouted question that would probably be his first reaction. Other than this post trying to capitalize on the conviction, there's only one way to keep Donald Trump out of the Oval Office at the ballot box. Donate to our campaign today. That's as a campaign official moment, right? Convicted felon or not, Trump will be the Republican nominee for president. If President Biden chooses to address Trump's felony convictions, we do expect it to be in line with his position since the transition. He doesn't put his finger on the scales of justice. Remember this from how he rolled out Merrick Garland.
I want to be clear to those who lead this department, who you will serve. You won't work
With the mobility.
You are not the president or the vice president's lawyer. Your loyalty is not to me. It's to the law, the Constitution, the people of this nation, to guarantee justice.
But forecasting what President Biden might say about this is a little bit more complicated than it seems. He's kind of in a pickle because he can't come out and say prosecutors always get it right, because that would mean that he's endorsing a system that on Monday is going to be prosecuting his son, and a system that a couple months ago wrote a report that said he has a death.
All right, so we expect that this event will be underway anytime soon, sometime soon, and we will certainly bring that to our live. Thank you.
There's just so much going on. Their former President Donald Trump's conviction is rocking the presidential race, but not in the way many Democrats expected. Instead, it seems to be energizing supporters and creating a windfall for Trump's campaign. Mark Meredith is here live now with more. It's stunning how much money they have raised up with this.
And John, so quickly, and the money still keeps coming in, and it's not just the Trump campaign that's been benefiting. Good afternoon to you. While the former president does face
No choice.
legal developments are not scaring off his donors. His campaign says it's seen a huge spike in donations in the last several hours. The campaign raising more than $34 million just since last night. The campaign's also not shying away from the conviction news either, now labeling Trump a political prisoner. The National Republican Senatorial Committee says it too is seeing record fundraising amid influx of donations. Today, at his Manhattan skyscraper, Trump's nearly 40-minute long speech was more like his rally remarks. He touched on
Good to meet on Hunter for that? Hell yeah. We're doing this right now.
What they're doing right now, winning in the
Hell yeah.
So we're going to show them that
Shinobi
we're
Hunter.
going to fight.
A poll by Marist and NPR taken this month shows 67% of people do not think a criminal conviction is going to have an impact on their vote. The Trump campaign says it expects the same. They had a polling memo this week in which they wrote, voters in our
A sharpshooter.
Most voters, especially our supporters, believe the case is politically motivated. The conviction would be the result of a biased show trial. Now, the Biden campaign, as Peter mentioned, is not avoiding the issue either. It's urging voters to donate to them to put Trump out of office. And while most Republicans, if not almost all, are sticking by Trump, we've heard from one Republican who's taking a little bit of a different stand, and he's giving notice. That's Maryland Republican Senate candidate Larry Hogan. He posted online yesterday, regardless of the result, I urge Americans to respect the verdict and the legal process. The Trump campaign fired back pretty quickly, saying Hogan now has no chance to win in November. Although John, Hogan's already announced he said he wasn't going to run as a Trump Republican. But it's interesting, just that one comment right there, agree with that bad one.
I just got a mailing from Hogan's campaign that says they're putting together a coalition of Democrats to win this race.
Whatever it takes to win, I guess.
Winning this is the most important thing. Is the element. Mark, thank you, Senator.
Let's bring in our legal panel now. Andy McCarthy is a former assistant U.S. attorney, and Carrie Vermont is a Punt News legal editor. Awesome to have you both on set. It's been a big, I was going to say a big couple days. It's been a long 6-7 weeks now. You've had a lot of time to think about this, Andy, since this verdict came out yesterday afternoon. And I know a lot of us have been asking ourselves, what are the consequences of this for the country? First, your thoughts on this?
Devastating, and it's so much. It transcends Trump so much. Look, the history of every legal system that's ever existed that's been a precedent system is that once one is set, it gets exploited and expanded. And the most important thing for people like Kerry and I, grew up in the justice system and have a sort of, I think, an appreciation for why it needs to be fair and why it needs to be dispense justice without fear or favor. What I see is that if this is now a partisan tool, then you go from a constitutional republic to a banana republic very quickly.
Carrie?
I don't wish I had to go back to that. I really don't. It was a dark day in the justice system. As Andy said, it does transcend Trump. It's much bigger than him. You know, I think the average person looks at this and says, if this is the more of a free world who has limitless resources and they can bring a sham case like this against him, not manipulate the statute of limitations, not allow witnesses to provide relevant context.
This looks good. Looks really good.
And then present him with, oh, by the way, these are the crimes that we were going to let the jurors pick from on the last day of trial without actually any of it out. It's testimony as evidence. What charge is anyone?
We're saving it for sure, but we'll play it. I have a hunch. This might be c'est une difficile, as the French would say.
The reason the feds didn't think it was a crime, nor did its predecessor, Andy. But progressive Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg gave Democrat politicians what they wanted, convicting Donald Trump in a trumped-up hush money case.
In some ways, it's even worse than that because Bragg himself knew this was a garbage case. He shut the investigation down in 2022. He reopened it for reasons that have nothing to do with the rule of law. It's clearly political. Tish James got big kudos from the progressive New York base when she took the evidence that Bragg wouldn't take and prosecute criminally and whipped it into a civil case. And around the same time as that, Trump announced that he was running for president. That's why this case came your way.
This morning, flying along the Hudson River, over the Hudson River, was a plane, and it was pulling a banner. Trump did not have one. It's no surprise that we're that's obviously sending. This is the former president here today saying, I want to ask you about this, that he would testify.
I would have testified. The theory is you never testify because as soon as you testify, if it were testify, don't testify because you'll get you said slightly and then you sue you for perjury. But I didn't get it.
I understand that you feel you've been unjustly accused, you want to defend yourself, but that's a natural human reaction. But he's also right where he said that it's really not worth it because it would have opened all kinds of doors and avenues for probably would have made it worse. And given how much the prosecution was determined to make this work, irrespective of rules and law, it wouldn't have made a difference.
I mean, you think about the ongoing Trump cases, right? This isn't the only one. I think our team pulled together a soft montage of James Smith Lewis all announcing charges against the former president. Listen, you're filing a lawsuit against Donald Trump for violating the law.
Charging Donald J. Trump with felony violations of our national security laws, as well as participating in a conspiracy to obstruct justice. Charging Donald J. Trump with conspiring to defraud the United States, conspiring to disenfranchise voters, and conspiring and attempting to obstruct an official proceeding.
The indictment brings felony charges against Donald John Trump.
Considering that, Andy, the Wall Street Journal had a total board writing a piece this morning answering the same question I asked you about the consequences for the country. It reads, the conviction sets a precedent of using legal cases, no matter how sketchy, to try to knock out political opponents, including former presidents. Trump has already vowed to return the favor.
Guarding the prisoner.
Thursday, when the guilty verdict was read, they should think again. Mr. Drag might have opened a new destabilizing era of American politics, and no one can say how it will end.
I think it's going to be more
Stationary.
destabilizing quickly because nothing is static, right? Everything is dynamic. Everything consequences flow from this. I think one consequence that will flow is that Jack Smith, if the Supreme Court gives him the green light, depending on how the immunity case comes out, Jack Smith will try to push whatever remains of that trial to trial prior to the election. And I think Judge Chutkan will help him.
The final case.
I just can't imagine becoming a convicted felon, getting my verdict sheet, and then looking for what the underlying crime was and not being there. So, everyone's talking about this, convicted felon, this and that. When he looks at the verdict sheet, it just listed the false license records. He still does not know what the underlying crime was that elevated to a felony in the first place.
You guys have been awesome throughout. Thank you for everything you've done for our coverage, and we will see you again very soon. Thanks so much. All right, John.
Ooh, it's a good one.
Set to deliver remarks on the Middle East. Will he comment on the Trump guilty verdict? We're standing by for that. We'll bring it to you when it happens.
Well, Hunter Biden's federal gun trial is set to be underway with jury selection starting Monday.
Okay.
Attorney General Matt Whitaker will look at the legal angles to that and tell us how this compares to the Trump trial.
Plus, could weight loss drugs actually be good for the U.S. economy? Dr.
It's better.
On the pros and cons for your health and your bank accounts.
Veteran homeowners, checked your credit card rates lately? Many are over 22%. Near 30% pay late. Why not do what thousands of veteran families have done? Call New Day and pay off that high rate debt with the lower rate New Day 100 VA cash out loan. It lets you pay off the credit cards and car loans with one easy monthly payment. Get the cash you need and the peace of mind you deserve.
Call 1-800-397-9341.
Multiple targets neutralized. Covered swarm.
Imagine a future where plastic is not worrisome, but instead, made over and over.
Nice shot.
Food fresher, our family safer, plenty cleaner. To help us get there, America's plastic makers are investing billions of dollars to create innovative products and new recycling technologies for sustainable change. Because when you push for smarter solutions, good things can happen.
That was close.
Nature is quite the artist, wouldn't you agree? The pigments that nature uses to paint its fruits and vegetables aren't there just for visual appeal. Those colorings are also essential to our nutrition. Hi, my name is Vincent Williams, and I'm a registered dietitian nutritionist. I found that the vast majority of my clients clearly got enough servings of fruits and vegetables. Balance of nature dietary supplements can provide more of the concentration of vegetable ingredients and these pigments. Please remember that considering a balanced diet should be your first priority in improving your health. Nonetheless, if you're considering a nutritional supplement, then not balance of nature.
Make a splash of the summer with 35% off plus a free fiber and spice supplement while supplies last as a preferred customer by using discount code FOX2.
I've got the loot here.
Vehicle breakdowns are costly.
But it's weird noises.
If your check engine light comes on tomorrow, the repair could easily cost thousands.
Here's that transmission.
But with endurance, you could never pay out of pocket for a costly repair again.
They covered a $14,000
$1,400. Endurance paid it. Who's going to pay for your next car repairs? You or Endurance?
Call right now to get $300 off any plan. Call now. Muskogee will remain jailed on espionage charges.
Our Russian court has rejected the latest appeal. Our prayers are with Kevin.
Getting it done.
Location confirmed.
Location confirmed. Time to wait around. We got the VIP in tow. Moving to evac. Got it covered.
Move it out.
Stepping off.
All right, we are waiting at the White House there. President Biden made remarks. He said to be talking about the Middle East. And this could be as Israel moves into central Rafah now. There's also the issue of whether or not Ukraine got the green light from the United States to use longer-range rockets to actually get into Russia itself. Now, these aren't the ATACMS very long-range rockets, but sort of middle-range rockets. So we wait to hear about all of that, and then we wait to see whether or not the president will weigh in on yesterday's killing. All of that just ahead. Stay tuned.
All right, we'll be listening for that, John. Meanwhile, Monday marks a new chapter in Hunter Biden's legal woes when jury selection for his federal gun trial is underway, while his father runs for re-election, of course. Former acting attorney general and Trump surrogate Matt Whitaker will be joining us in just a moment. But first, Justice correspondent David Spott is live in Washington on this for us. So Hunter Biden's attorney previewed their defense. What did they say, David?
It was interesting, Senator. Abby Lowell hinted in open court last week that Hunter may not have even checked no in the box on the federal firearm form that is key to the entire case. Now, Hunter Biden was seen here getting on Air Force One earlier today on his way to D.C. from Delaware. He was charged with 3 felony counts of lying on a federal gun form in 2018 when claiming he was not a drug user. Hunter's attorney, Abby Lowell, previewed that theory in court that Hunter did not check no to being a drug user. He says it needs to be examined whether other people may have tampered with the form, kind of a chain of custody issue. The special counsel is confident it was Hunter who checked the box. Special counsel White's team will introduce parts of the Hunter Biden laptop as evidence, which Hunter's lawyers fought vigorously to exclude. We don't know yet, though, which parts. Remember, this is the same laptop that 51 former intelligence officials touted as having all the classic earmarks of a Russian information operation. It wasn't, and the special counsel's office wrote, quote, the defendant's laptop is real. It will be introduced as a trial exhibit, and it contains significant evidence of the defendant's guilt. Moreover, the evidence on his laptop is corroborated by independent sources. Judge Mariella Noreika ruled against the special counsel, saying that the special counsel...
Get the fuck out of here.
...indictment and pending tax case in California. Judge Noreika is the same judge who tore up that plea deal last summer that would have had Hunter Biden plead guilty to 2 misdemeanors and avoid prison on those felony gun charges.
Sandra John, it's always possible an 11-hour plea deal could be cut at some point over the next 3 days, meaning both sides are ready for jury selection to begin on Monday. Of course, we'll watch if there's any potential deal. We expect it to go 2 weeks, possibly into a third.
I'm going to check this
All
also.
right, David, spot on that for us. David, thank you. John?
Sandra joining us now with legal analysis and reaction to everything going on today. The former acting attorney general of Trump surrogate Matt Wagner. Matt, it's good to see you again. Talk about Hunter Biden just a moment. But first of all, here's part of what former President Trump said this morning at Trump Tower about the guilty verdicts. I don't mind being out there because I'm doing something for this country and I'm doing something for our Constitution. It's very important, far beyond me. And this can't be allowed to happen to other presidents. This is bigger than Trump. This is bigger than me. This is bigger than my presidency. So he says that this is the beginning of a potential slippery slope. I think if we're read into that, do you believe it is?
I do, and here's why. If you think about comparing and contrasting even this Hunter Biden case we're going to talk about, the Trump case, you know, in the Trump case, no state prosecutors ever brought a federal election claim as a predicate offense or a direct violation ever. First time. And in the Hunter Biden case, no one had ever gotten that sweetheart plea deal to propose it from Judge Noriega with a slap on the wrist misdemeanor for the tax violation and a deferred prosecution agreement for the gun charges. So, you know, in each case, unprecedented means are being used. It's just, unfortunately, against President Trump, they seem to be very aggressive.
So the former president said that they're going to appeal this case. I'm sure Todd Williams and the team are already working on it. But they don't even really know what the underlying violation was. It an FEC violation? Was it a falsifying other documents violation? Was it a tax violation? If you don't know what it is, hey, how do you form an appeal? Or is that the basis for it?
Well, certainly that's a Fifth Amendment violation, and the right to know the charges against you and defend yourself are foundation to our system of justice. And this violation is really inexcusable from a prosecutor's standpoint. And that's, I think, what offends a lot of people. I've seen a lot of prosecutors on this network talking about this, that it's not a matter of winning cases. It's about doing justice. And I think there is a distinction and a difference. And in this case, Alvin Bragg and Colangelo and that team very clearly were just trying to win this case. They were trying to do these jury instructions so that they can have this buffet of legal options to convict the president and bring, these charges that have never been brought in state courts and not allow and fight vigorously to keep an FEC expert off the stand. And each turn, with the help of the judge, his conflicts have been laid out pretty clear. It has been inconsistent with really the principles of doing justice, at least as I learned them at the Department of Justice.
A lot of people think now that politics and the justice system are inextricably entwined. Here's what the president said about that.
The real verdict is going to be November 5th by the people. And they know what happened here, and everybody knows what happened here. You have to still respect DA and the whole thing. We didn't do a thing wrong.
Right. So the president's already fundraising off of the verdict. He's got this up on his website saying that he is a political president. Please donate to him. I've talked to some folks who say that they've never ever made a political donation in their lives. It's yesterday.
And I likewise had a bunch of people reaching out to me wondering how they can participate, donate, whatever. It's been really struck a chord with a lot of folks. But remember, this case in New York is starting to look a lot like the impeachments we saw on Capitol Hill. Very much a partisan political operation, less about doing justice.
Unfortunately, we don't have time to talk about Hunter Biden because his father is about to speak. So, Matt, thank you. Appreciate it. Lots more to talk about.
Fox News Alert, a live look at the White House. John, as we do anticipate, the president will be stepping out to speak soon. We're told that his remarks will be on the Middle East. Obviously, this is happening the day after the verdict in the Trump trial. So there are questions as to whether
Good time to save it.
offer remarks on the verdict or the guilty verdict, or perhaps even take questions, John.
Catch you guys next time, all right? Peace.
We had heard earlier in the week that the White House is planning to put the president out there in a nationwide address to talk about the verdict. That whole plan seemed to get shelved after Robert De Niro after his news conference in front of the courtroom. Then we see the president's body man putting the remarks down on the podium, or at least the lectern there in the Roosevelt room. That whole plan seemed to be shelved after what happened with Robert De Niro. But I don't know how Biden avoids
guilty verdict, particularly when you see all of those people out there in front of Trump House, supporters and I would wager $1 saying really he's probably going to say something.
Right, because at the same time we're watching this live shot from the White House, we also heard from the former president himself calling the guilty verdict earlier, and we have seen crowds growing here in Midtown Manhattan throughout the morning, throughout the day. We had a shot just a second ago where there's a group of Trump supporters that have been outside of Trump Tower waving flags and showing support for the former president. This is the moment that we've been anticipating, whether or not the president will choose to comment on the guilty verdict. There has been some indication that he would do so. So we'll see.
We're talking with Matt Whitaker just a moment ago. Is the Trump guilty verdict the beginning of a slippery slope here, intertwining politics and the judicial system, where anytime a former president leaves office, it may be subject to some sort of prosecution on a charge just because the person who is replacing them didn't like some of what they did while they were in office. And that's a big concern. Typically, this has never happened before. Former presidents do not face prosecution. Maybe they haven't done something worthy of a prosecution, but others have, but chosen not to be pursued. But this really does kind of open the door to retribution and politics really being at play here in terms of prosecutions in the future. So this is the longest 2-minute warning I think that I've heard of. Sandra, we got it probably about 3 minutes or more ago.
That's more than 120 seconds. Why don't we get a quick comment from Mark Thiessen, Fox News contributor, joining us right now, also a former White House speechwriter. Mark, give us your quick thoughts as we do anticipate the president to step out here shortly.
Yeah, I'm sure he's going to talk about it. If not here, then soon, because it's all he's got. I mean, he's the most unpopular president in the history of Poland, going all the way back to World War II. He is underwater by double digits on every single issue that voters care about. His only play for re-election is, I'm not Donald Trump. Donald Trump will be a lot worse. And so now, they've thrown every epithet they can against Donald Trump. And the whole purpose of these prosecutions was to be able to say he's a convicted felon. Well, now they've got that. So the question is that going to really tilt the election? Are voters who are paying $125 for a $100 basket of groceries going to say, oh, he's a convicted felon. I didn't know he was a bad guy. Now I'm going to vote against him. It doesn't seem like this is going to be the thing that tips it. I mean, the people's opinions are baked in about Donald Trump. Everybody has an opinion about Donald Trump. I don't think they're going to change their minds over this.
So Matt Whitaker's still with us, and Matt, we cut you short because we thought we were within about a minute of the president's remarks. Is there a downside to what Biden might have to say? Oh, so we got to cut you off because here he comes.
Just checking this afternoon. Good afternoon. Before I begin my remarks, I just want to say a few words about what happened yesterday in New York City. The American principle that no one is above the law was reaffirmed. Donald Trump was given every opportunity to defend himself. It was a state case, not a federal case. And it was heard by a jury of 12 citizens, 12 Americans, 12 people like you. Like millions of Americans who served on juries, this jury is chosen the same way every jury in America is chosen. It was a process that Donald Trump's attorney was part of. The jury heard 5 weeks of evidence, 5 weeks. And after careful deliberation, the jury reached a unanimous verdict. They found Donald Trump guilty on all 34 felony counts. Now he'll be given the opportunity, as he should, to appeal that decision just like everyone else has that opportunity. That's how the American system of justice works. And it's reckless, it's dangerous, it's irresponsible for anyone to say this was rigged just because they don't like the verdict. Our justice system has endured for nearly 250 years. And it literally is a cornerstone of America, our justice system. The justice system should be respected. And we should never allow anyone to tear it down. It's as simple as that. That's America. That's who we are. And that's who we'll always be, God willing. Now to another issue. I I want to give an update on my efforts to end the crisis in Gaza. For the past several months, my negotiators and foreign policy and intelligence community alike have been relentlessly focused, not just on a ceasefire that would inevitably be fragile and temporary, but on a durable end of the war. That's been the focus, a durable end of this war. One that brings all the hostages home, ensures Israel's security, creates a better day after in Gaza without Hamas in power. It sets the stage for a political settlement that provides a better future for Israelis and Palestinians alike. Now, after intensive diplomacy carried out by my team, my many conversations with leaders of Israel, Qatar, and Egypt, and other Middle Eastern countries, Israel has offered a comprehensive new proposal. It's a roadmap to an enduring ceasefire and the release of all hostages. This proposal has been transmitted by Qatar to Hamas. Today, I want to lay out its terms for American citizens and for the world. This new proposal has 3 phases. The first phase would last for 6 weeks. Here's what it would include: a full and complete ceasefire, withdrawal of Israeli forces from all populated areas in Gaza, release of a number of hostages, including women, the elderly, the wounded, in exchange for the release of hundreds of Palestinian prisoners. There are American hostages who would be released at this stage. We want them home. Additional, some remains of hostages who have been killed will be returned to their families, bringing some degree of closure to that terrible grief. Palestinians, civilians would return to their homes and neighborhoods in all areas of Gaza, including in the north. Humanitarian assistance would surge, with 600 trucks carrying aid into Gaza every single day. With the ceasefire, that aid could be safely and effectively distributed to all who need it. Hundreds of thousands of temporary shelters, including housing units, would be delivered by the international community. All that and more would begin immediately. During the 6 weeks of phase 1, Israel and Hamas would negotiate the necessary arrangements to get to phase 2, which is a permanent end to hostilities. Now, I'll be straight with you. There are a number of details to negotiate to move from phase 1 to phase 2. Israel will want to make sure its interests are protected. But the proposal says if the negotiations take longer than 6 weeks for phase 1, the ceasefire will still continue as long as negotiations continue. The United States, Egypt, and Qatar would work to ensure negotiations keep going. All agreements, until all the agreements are reached and phase 2 is able to begin. Then phase 2 would be an exchange for the release of all remaining living hostages, including male soldiers. Israeli forces will withdraw from Gaza, and as long as Hamas lives up to its commitments, temporary ceasefire will become, in the words of the Israeli proposal, the cessation of hostilities permanently, end of quote. Cessation of hostilities permanently. Finally, in phase 3, a major reconstruction plan for Gaza would commence, and any final remains of hostages who've been killed will be returned to their families. That's the offer that's now on the table, and what we've been asking for. It's what we need. The people of Israel should know they can make this offer without any further risk to their own security because they've devastated Hamas forces over the past 8 months. At this point, Hamas no longer is capable of carrying out another October 7th. It's one of Israel's main objectives in this war, and quite frankly, a righteous one. I know there are those in Israel who will not agree with this plan and will call for the war to continue indefinitely. Some are even in the government coalition. And they've made it clear they want to occupy Gaza. They want to keep fighting for years. and the hostages are not a priority to them. Well, I've urged the leadership in Israel to stand behind this deal, despite whatever pressure comes. And to the people of Israel, let me say this. As someone who's had a lifelong commitment to Israel, as the only American president who's ever gone to Israel in a time of war, as someone who just sent the U.S. forces to directly defend Israel when it was attacked by Iran, I ask you to take a step back and think what will happen if this moment is lost. You can't lose this moment. Indefinite war in pursuit of an unidentified notion of total victory will not bring Israel.
You got fresh waters from Madison.
Bog down Israel and Gaza.
You got fresh waters.
Economic, military, and human resources, and furthering Israel's isolation in the world.
Fresh waters.
That will not bring hostages home. That will not bring an enduring defeat of Hamas. That will not bring Israel lasting security. But a comprehensive approach that starts with this deal will bring hostages home and will lead to more secure Israel. And once a ceasefire and hostage deal are concluded, it unlocks the possibility of a great deal more progress, including calm along Israel's northern border with Lebanon. The United States will help forge a diplomatic resolution, one that ensures Israel's security and allows people to safely return to their home without fear of being attacked. With the deal, rebuilding of Gaza will begin. Arab nations and the international community, along with Palestinian and Israeli leaders, to get it done in a manner that does not allow Hamas to